Let's go! Harold Perkins film study. You already see how special he is, making this guy miss and housing the ball. And that's what's really crazy about him, is that he's not even a running back. Or is he? So we're going to talk about, to me, the best player in the class of 2022. And I feel this way even if he didn't choose LSU. And this play you're looking at right now is a play that we're actually going to focus on at the end of today's video, because there is something very unique about that play. Now, also at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my honest opinion of how I feel Harold Perkins will fit into a Matt House defense. But this is truly the wild thing about his highlight tape, is rarely do you see a linebacker have a highlight tape that is mostly clips of him making plays on offense. And it's not just runs, it's actual catches on offense, and that's what truly makes him special. So, I do want to start right here, okay? You're going to see a lot of these home run hitting runs, and what I think defensive coordinators do a bad job of, just in general, is that they put too many guys close to the line of scrimmage. You always heard this in our LSU film studies last year, that LSU's bad defense would just cram too many guys at the line of scrimmage, and that would result in you getting hit with home runs. And that's exactly what happened here. A 98-yard run, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys within basically 3-ish yards of the ball, and really no deep safeties. And when that happens against an athlete like Harold Perkins, who cares if you get all this penetration? Harold Perkins is faster than everyone else, and you get the easiest 98-yard touchdown run you'll ever see. So the first thing is, yes, Harold Perkins does have some really, really, really special long touchdown runs to his game, but it's also due to people just cramming the box, which is just flat out stupid. Now, this is just flat out stupid right here. Look at this. Look at this. He is mossing. This is a linebacker, and this is not a well-thrown ball. It is into double coverage, but look at that. Hands catch. I mean, this is just insane. Insane. And the crazy thing about this catch right here is he actually jumped a little too early. He didn't time his jump the best, but he hung in the air so long that he was still able to catch this purely with his hands. That is just insane. And he did keep his feet. So even this defensive back actually did a good job sticking with the play and actually making a tackle. But that's just a truly insane catch. And you see this not only on Harold Perkins' senior tape, but his junior tape as well. And we already did a breakdown of his junior tape from this summer. It is linked down below. So this is obviously another run right here, and this is just nasty. Just get off me. Get off me, baby. How great is that right there? So really good stuff, and we're just going to keep this beautiful bean footage rolling, baby. Who remembers those commercials, that beautiful bean footage? And what in the heck? Are you kidding me? So the first thing is, he kind of looks like Alvin Kamara with the, I'll show you in just a second, the turf tape on his arms. I just think that looks so cool. But this is just insane. Once again, hanging in the air, hands catch, bringing that down with one hand. And the crazy thing about it is he lands on his feet, and this is how you know he's a really fluid athlete. A lot of people that catch that ball in the air like that would fall down. He keeps his feet, makes this guy almost miss. Once again, good play by that safety. And he's able to, bring that ball in. So now we get to this highlight. Once again, this is just silly. Don't cram too many guys at the line of scrimmage. And once again, this is another ball thrown into double coverage, and he catches it all with his hands again, basically against the same team, the same DBs, and they're probably wondering, this guy is a linebacker. He shouldn't be doing this. So now this is also another one of my clips that I like a lot. All right, so first thing, this is Harold right here, and you notice he's not even looking at the snap. They have a coverage mishap here, and this is also something very impressive. Normally, they love to line Harold Perkins as this edge backer and just blow crap up. But this is him legit at safety. They're playing kind of a three-high look. And he then slides into center field. And look, he just reads this the whole way, changes his direction, and it was a bad throw. He intercepts it. And good job of them making a tackle. So it's just insane. The coverage wasn't even set. And he still was able to make the interception. And him just breaking tackles again. Once again, there are a lot of four-star running backs who don't have tape this good. What you see from them a lot is Harold Perkins just coming off the edge. This quarterback just thinks that Harold Perkins is coming. And he sees him, goes inside right here. And Perkins is just reading this like a book. And it looks like a touchdown. And he kind of baits him into this throw, reads the eyes. The delayed blitz right here was timed perfectly. We get A-gap pressure, and Harold Perkins is just right there to make the play. So, that's just absolutely key. And we've got to make this guy miss right here. And we do. We get a pick six. And that is just a game-changing type of play. So, boom, I'm looking at you right now. Yes, you, okay? So you're looking at this clip, another run where, once again, he's just running by everyone for an easy touchdown. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to outrun everyone at the next level the way that, obviously, Harold Perkins was able to. So this play right here versus the same team isn't as sexy as the long touchdown run, but this is actually something that really impressed me involving Harold Perkins, okay? And it's football IQ, okay? Now, what a lot of elite prospects do, because they're so dominant, I just dropped my pen. That's not smooth at all. Because they're so dominant versus high school competition, they just run around and play with no technique, and they're just able to run everyone down and be as aggressive as they want to be. This is actually a very creative play call. So what they're going to do is they're going to run a double reverse, essentially. So you hand it off here, and what they're expecting Harold Perkins to do is to just run down the line and try and run this guy down from behind. But that is not what happens. As you see here, Harold Perkins, from the jump, keeps his technique, okay? And what we like to call contain. And contain means you are responsible for anything that comes to the outside, okay? And where contained defenders, especially one like Harold Perkins, who can get really aggressive and make a lot of explosive plays behind the line of scrimmage, what can happen is when you see a handoff going this way, you just automatically sprint down, when in actuality, you need to stay still and stay responsible for the quarterback or a potential reverse. And that is exactly what happens here. So you notice Harold Perkins reads this play really quickly, doesn't get fooled by this, and he sees the reverse happening, okay? So notice his first step isn't to go run to the runner right here. He actually steps flat. Now, is he athletic enough to just go run and tackle this guy? Absolutely. But that's irresponsible, because if you miss it, this running back is walking in for a touchdown. And you see this guy blocks this guy, and it's an easy touchdown. So Harold Perkins does the unselfish thing. He plays this technique first, and he stretches this play out. Now notice, it is him, this guy, and this guy. Okay, so this looks like a touchdown. All we need is a decent block. But notice, Harold Perkins stays flat. Now, the only thing I didn't like is he allowed this guy to seal him just a little bit. You want to get as flat as you possibly can, but still, the guy tries to block him, and Harold Perkins jacks him up, and he stretches this play out, and he causes this running back to stop. And guess what happens? He's still able to make this play. Another good play right here. This is just filthy. I mean, it really is good stuff. So once again, you're the contained defender, but this offensive tackle is trying too hard to make you lose your contain. So he cuts underneath it, rips underneath it, and he just flattens out and makes a nice play. So once again, This is just a crazy light box. All right, 3 lighter defenders, only 2 down linemen. And let's see what happens. You should run versus this. So they get downhill and they run, and this is just freaky. This is just freaky. That's unreal, okay? Now, you guys already know, if you know, I won't bring the name up until the end, okay? But still, the ability to find this football and strip it, that's big time for. That's big time, baby. Let's go. So you see, it's strange, right? So now Harold Perkins is not the edge guy. He's off your screen. Now he's on your screen and bam. It's just nasty how violent and how quick he can get. And this is also a really good play right here. So, look, I'm guessing this is a 4th down situation. So they bring in 2 extra fullbacks, and Harold Perkins is right here as the inside linebacker. So rarely do you see him play a true Mike. And notice all this traffic he's got to sort through. He's taking on this blocker. He gets underneath it and makes a play on 3rd and short or 4th and short. All righty, here we go. So we get trips right, 2 deep safeties, and Harold Perkins is one of the backers right here. So essentially right now, Harold Perkins is playing the nickel. This is really interesting. Now he starts creeping this way, and they actually call a good play. So, they see that the quarterback sees that the linebackers are sinking. He hits his flat route. It wasn't the cleanest throw. Running back does a good job catching it. But notice all this space right here, man. This is just insane. Look at how far he has to go to make this play. And he does, and he just sticks him. Just a clean open field tackle. It really does pop off the page. And we essentially see the same thing here. And those are 2 different plays he made, and it was essentially the same result. Alrighty, so this is just special again. Now, once again, this is actually a good play by the running back. If you can chip an edge guy to the inside, it's not bad. Now, you would like to have gotten a little bit better of a piece of him, and this is what makes Harold Perkins, once again, a really special athlete. He's just able to just hammer this guy, just swallow him whole. We're doing the same thing here. We're creeping him up to the line of scrimmage. Good luck trying to block him with just an offensive tackle. And strip the ball again. It is so hard to consistently strip the ball and make plays, okay? Boom! I'm looking at you right now. I'm just making sure you're awake because we're going to spend a little time on this play because, number one, this is just such a special football play. And number two, at the same time, we're going to show you what Harold can do at the next level to improve his game even more. So, obviously, it's going to come down to how Matt House wants to use him, Jamar Cain in the defense. And here is Harold Perkins going up against a tight end and an offensive tackle. And the tight end goes out on a route, and he's one-on-one versus this offensive tackle. Now, the first thing that, if you're going to play a lot of this edge rusher position and blitz a lot, you're going to have to eventually develop some kind of pass rush moves. So because Harold is such a superior athlete, he's able to get around this offensive tackle without a rip, a swim, not really tightening his path to the quarterback. He's just running around him. At the next level, it's just harder to do that. So at some point, when he gets to the next level, he'll develop this swim, rip, just fighting, chopping your arm down to where this tackle can't push you off your path. And you see the tackle does get a little bit of a push on Harold Perkins to where he's got to redirect. But notice how fluid he is. Notice it didn't really affect him at all, just a little bit of his momentum to have to float upfield. Now, this is just ridiculous. He goes around his own guy and runs this quarterback back down, and this is what I love about his game. Just such amazing ball skills. You see that LSU glove right there? You got to love it. And he's able to get his hand right on the ball to force it out, okay? Just incredible playmaking ability. So here we are. Once again, it looks like we're in some form of a prevent here. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. Look at how far off the line of scrimmage. So this has to be an end-of-half situation right here. Still, look at all this space, and a quarterback pre-snap thinks, okay, if I want to throw an out, look, there's no corner I have to worry about picking off an out, but there is somebody you have to worry about picking off an out route here, and that's Harold Perkins, and he sees it the whole freaking way. Look at that. I mean, it's just, obviously this was telegraphed. It's just unreal, though, the closing speed. Now, I do give the quarterback some credit here, making that tackle to bring him down. So, before we go back to my favorite play on this clip, the strip touchdown by Harold Perkins on special teams, I want to throw it back to one of my favorite LSU players of all time, one of my major inspirations, none other than the Badger, because this is simply, to me, the most unique special teams play I think I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone just strip a returner this clean, catch the football on the bounce, and just the ability to get your hand to the football. This is something Harold Perkins is really good at. Tyrann Mathieu obviously is the best all-time at that. And look at how cleanly he just plucks the ball out. And as you can see, this was our first touchdown of the game against Oregon, and we never looked back again. So now we go back to this play, and, you know, I've gotten this question a lot. Who is the one player that Harold Perkins reminds you of? And honestly, it's what you just saw. It's Tyrann Mathieu, honestly. And, yeah, they play different positions, but that's kind of the scary thing, is that we don't know what Harold Perkins' best position is. And as you can see, this ball was just a poor snap. It bounces up. And if you were to guess right here that this would end up being a Harold Perkins touchdown, it would be nuts to even think about. Because look, he is getting blocked. He's on the opposite side of this play, and notice he just doesn't give up on it, right? He still hustles. He still finds the guy. And then to just kind of like Tyrann, most players just worry about getting this tackle, but Perkins was thinking, let's strip this thing, and look at how he just gets his hand. It's a lot like the Badger, honestly, how well and just how natural he is at finding the ball and just stripping it. It's unreal. And then what's even crazier is a football's an oblong object, and you saw, you know, how cleanly Harold Perkins just finds the ball, and he gets a good hop, but he not only catches it, and it's just smooth, and, I mean, dude, just give up. Just give up. So, honestly, it is just like a play that Tyrann would make. Now, we save, obviously, the end. How does Matt House use Harold Perkins? So, this is what we need to do together. Comment down below, do you think Harold Perkins should play some offense? And before you actually answer this question, I want you off the top of your head to answer this question. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. How many tackles do you think Harold Perkins made his senior season? Like, just guess right now, wherever you are. And the answer might shock you, okay? So you're looking at his high school statistics via 247 Sports and Max Preps, and you see Harold Perkins only had 35 tackles, and that was for good reason. The team mostly wanted him to just focus on offense. So this is what's really interesting, is that Harold Perkins, remember, this was just a highlight tape. These highlight tapes aren't actually how games happen, right? So Harold Perkins didn't play defense on every snap. He played more offense and had to focus more on offense. So that's actually a really good thing for two reasons. Number one, to have as great of a defensive highlight clip as this was, and he had some astonishing defensive and special teams plays, you know, he's tired from all these sprints and all these catches and all this energy he had to expand on offense. He still showed that same hustle and that same motor on defense, and that's really freaking impressive. So, you know, as you move forward as a football player, there's going to be a lot of adjusting for Harold Perkins. Sage Ryan was another 5-star defensive player who also at LCA played a whole lot of offense and really focused primarily on that side of the ball. So while Harold Perkins does have high upside as a defensive player, this is going to be the first time he's going to just focus solely on defense. And that is really freaking wild. So, LSU does need to bring up the question, is defense the position that's best for him, or is he a better running back and or slot receiver? And look, the likelihood is that he's going to play defense. That's what his main focus was up to, throughout his whole recruitment. Everybody was recruiting him, the best we can understand it, to play defense. Now, where is his best position on defense? And we just don't know the answer to that. I would say as a floating outside linebacker, as a guy who does occasionally get up there and play that edge position. Now, is that more in a B.J. Ojulari type, or is that more of a weak side Patrick Queen linebacker type? And we just don't know the answer to that. It's just going to come down to how Matt House and Jamar Cain evaluates him as a player. And obviously Brian Kelly and to a certain extent Harold Perkins. You don't want him doing something that he is uncomfortable doing. But the bottom line is, when you look at the clip, and when we did this film study, the most important thing is just the upside, the athleticism, his ability at a fairly high level of high school football in Texas to just dominate games. And you saw his statistics a minute ago. We always bring this up on the channel. Prospects sometimes aren't properly rated, and what's crazy is there is a lot of high school prospects that are 4 stars or 5 stars that don't actually dominate in high school. And that is what I really love about Harold Perkins, is that statistically he was a dominant football player. Even in their last playoff loss, he ran for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was really good in big moments for Cypress, and he was just a well-rounded football player. So a lot of it's going to come down to, once again, does he keep that same work ethic? Does he still have that same hunger to be great? And if he does, he is going to be extremely special no matter where he is. So right now, just based on my study, I would start Harold Perkins off the same way you started off with Marcel Brooks, as an occasional pass rusher and blitzer in third and long situations, kind of like what Dave Aranda did towards the end of 2019, and then from there, let him continue to grow. I would also, just based on his ability to force fumbles, I would also ask him to play some special teams as well, just to allow him to fly down there and strip the ball and make plays. Let him run with his hair on fire and just do Harold Perkins things. So, it's just special. It really is. And I truly think the ceiling is going to be reached. Or even if his ceiling is, even if he is 80% to what he can be at the college level, that's an all-SEC level linebacker you're looking at. So I'm really excited about this. You guys, just for those that watch our live streams, ever since I learned about this kid and watched his junior tape for the first time, I was like, my goodness gracious, if this actually happens, I'm going to go nuts. And my evaluation still remains the same. Yes, you should be a little scared because he doesn't just fit into a box. This is not a Walker Howard situation where for sure he is a quarterback. This is not a Quincy Wiggins situation where for sure he is a defensive lineman. This is going to take a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. It's not he's going to step on the field and just dominate day one. It's going to take some patience and trying to figure out what's best for all parties involved. Boom! I hope you enjoyed this video today. Once again, if you are watching this on a premiere, normally we do live streams on Thursday nights, but I'm currently in LA getting to meet some of you guys for the big game. It's pretty cool. I hope Joe actually takes it home. But But, with the Rams, Whitworth, Odell, wouldn't mind seeing that either. But still, it's going to be a fun week. And when we get back, obviously, the live stream schedule is going to get back to normal. If you want to drop a donation, it obviously goes a long way into these film studies. And if you are a diehard LSU football fan, subscribe, ring the bell. I guarantee you we are not going to let you down on this channel. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! So floating in your face right now is our junior Harold Perkins film study. You can check it out for yourself. And tonight we're doing, we're doing lemon pepper chicken wings. Let's go.